Hello, everybody. It's Food FAQ time.
We're back.
Where did we go, Keeter?
Oh, Mariela. It is.
The black
I mean,
hole.
on top of the fact that I was sick for like 6 weeks, and then the holidays came, and Ryan and I, left town for a bit, came back. How was your holiday, by the way?
It's good. Nice and calm and quiet. It's really nice, actually.
Did you have a good New Year's?
I did. It was just, hanging out with the kids and eating grapes. And my kid had what is that stuff called? The sidra, what is it called?
Yeah. It's like cider. Like it's a non-alcoholic cider.
Yeah. My daughter was like, Mom, you're going to let us drink alcohol? And my son was like guzzling it, like, yeah, baby.
Well, he is his mom's kid.
We know what's going on there.
That's obviously a trait that's innate. We figured out in your blood.
I don't even drink. Okay, thank you very much.
Right. Once upon a time, though, there was quite a bit going on. Many nights I have been with you with that.
Maybe, but yeah, that was hilarious. So it was nice, just hanging out.
Well, good. Well, I feel good being back. I'm so happy.
Me too.
I'm glad I'm feeling better. My voice is back, and the holidays are over.
Oh, thank God. I'm done.
I was not in the holiday spirit at all. Period.
I was, but by New Year's, I was done. Like, I was ready to just stop being around so many fucking people. I love people, as a collective, but being inside a place with people, with lots of people, it drains me, I need a lot of breaks. Yeah. I need breaks, people breaks.
I got you.
But anyway, so today we decided to make something comforting because after all that, you just want to bundle up, especially over there. It's been kind of cool over here too. Want to bundle up and enjoy life.
It's colder than a witch's tit outside.
I don't know why people say that. Is there a survey somewhere?
I have no idea. I once heard witch's tit in a brass bra.
What?
Yeah.
Wow,
I guess witches are cold. I assume they're cold. And then.
Do you?
I'm
warm.
Cold?
I'm a warm-blooded woman.
So I don't know, but it's cold outside.
Yes. And so today we decided to make something a little different. I made this recipe a couple weeks ago, and I could not believe I had never had it before or made it. And it was kind of a revelation for me.
I'm excited. I made it tonight.
Did you make it because I told you about it, or did you just?
Yeah, no. When you told me about it, I was just like, "Oh, that sounds really good." I still have not eaten it.
Oh my God, you gotta get a fork in there.
I've tasted.
In here.
Oh, because I like to taste as I go.
Of course.
Fucking delicious.
Yeah, but you gotta get the whole thing in your mouth. You know what it's like, right? You see.
Oh no, I totally know. I totally know. I know. There's a difference of getting it all in your mouth and just only a little bit.
Just looking at it,
Right. You gotta do something with it. You're there for a reason.
You know what I mean? You gotta really engage it inside once, all at the same time.
You have to determine, can I do this? Am I willing to do this? What's going to happen afterwards? Right. What's going to happen afterwards to me?
Right. Okay. So before the show is over, I really want you to take a forkful and report to the people because I want to know what you think about this. I am seeking your approval desperately on this because my family loved it and my husband, Jesus, man, that man freaking loved it. But they like me, I think maybe more than you do. So they're
very honest about the food with you. The worst thing ever is that you're such a good cook and then going out to dinner with your family. Their expectation is the food is going to be what they get at home.
I know.
And it's not.
It's not.
And so.
You know what? My daughter still talks about that candy bacon, the bacon lollipops from that restaurant we went to.
Oh, we had brunch there, didn't we?
No, we ate dinner, but we got the bacon because we're not stupid.
Okay. Oh, okay. We had dinner there.
And she loves that fucking bacon.
That shit was good.
She still talks about it. I want to make those candied bacon lollipops. We talked about them before.
It shouldn't be that hard.
I agree. Anyway, so this lasagna, right? I've always made American style lasagna. My first job was at the Garden of Olives.
Remember I drove you to the interview?
Did you really?
Yeah, we were 16. And I drove you to the interview and I waited outside for the interview for you. Yeah, we were with another friend.
No.
Yeah. And we waited outside for your interview. I drove you to the interview. As clear as day. I can close my eyes. I don't remember what bottom you're wearing, but for some reason I remember you wearing a white blouse with a little black blazer over it.
Shut up.
Yeah, clear as day. And I took you to the interview.
I don't remember that at all.
Yes, I took you to the interview and we waited outside
Holy Hannah.
16-year-olds. So all we're doing is like what? Smoking cigarettes and waiting outside.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah. And then you came out and you had your first job.
Wow. Okay. So I blocked that memory out, but that is so heartwarming.
That's cute.
Yes. Well, let me tell you, I really liked working there and I worked there for quite a while to be an irresponsible 16-year-old. I worked there for like a year and a half.
It was like throughout the rest of high school, basically.
Yeah. And I learned so much. And when I first started working there, I wanted to be, I forgot what I wanted to be, but I don't know what I applied for, but they didn't realize I was so young. So they had to put me in the back of the house, which was great because I learned so much stuff. Like I was so young, I couldn't use the slicer legally. Okay.
Okay. But let's tell everybody because it's adorable. What was your job there?
Oh, so I started making the salads, you guys. Like
I love that. Like,
yes.
You're just the salad maker.
I was the salad maker. It's a whole job. There's somebody responsible for that shit, especially on busy nights. And I was the most kick-ass salad maker. You could only put like 10 olives on that shit and like 2 slices of tomatoes. There are some very strict rules on the salad making. I just want you to know.
I just want you to know that is the only thing as a full adult now that I like from that place. It's just their salad.
And the soup? No?
I mean, but I wasn't a soup person back then. And I haven't been there in like 15 years. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, their soup is pretty delicious. The kale one, the what is that shit called? Toscana. That's my favorite. It is so fucking good. But anyway, I was back there and I really learned a lot about like making pasta and food because they actually make their shit there, which is kind of interesting to me. I was surprised. Like I still eat there to this day because I realized and I appreciate how they were really stringent on their stuff and they actually make a lot of their food. Yeah, I know it's not real food, but it's not really Italian food. But for a chain, it was pretty decent. But anyway, I was always fascinated by the lasagna, and that's how I kind of learned how to make one. So they would always, it was fat. Their lasagna is not liquidy, I hate liquidy lasagnas, like when they bring you a pile of fucking
I hate that too.
Doesn't that piss you off?
I hate liquidy pasta sauce or liquidy lasagna. Like, it's so disgusting.
It's not lasagna. These are noodles. You're making spaghetti with fat noodles. And I am very upset about this. I get very mad when this happens. And it usually happens when you get takeout from someplace and they give it to you in that tin little plate.
Yeah. And you have like that little liquidy residue over.
Ugh. Anyway, so I really love their lasagna because it was always meaty and it held its shape. And it always, it's like a traditional like ricotta, meat sauce, cheese, noodle, up and up and up until you fill up your pan. So I've always made my lasagna that way, and it's always been a very delicious lasagna. But just recently, I learned about bechamel lasagna, and I don't know, I was just kind of intrigued by it because it doesn't have cheese, like shredded mozzarella on it, and it doesn't have ricotta. It really relies heavily on the bechamel and on the meat sauce.
Right.
And when you make this and you bake it, you're like, oh, it's going to be a sloppy pile of shit goo. But it's not.
Mm-mm.
It holds its shape. Okay. Tell me, Eric, you made it. I tried to give you a recipe to follow, but just like a fucking who you are, you motherfucker. You didn't.
Okay, you know what? It still came out fucking amazing. So I don't want to hear anything out of your mouth. All right, shut your pie hole. So anyways,
the lasagna hole. Thank you very much.
The lasagna hole. Okay, so I made the meat sauce. And
how'd you make it? You made it.
Okay, so I have 2 types of meat sauces that I make. One is a type that takes, hours and hours and hours to be on your stovetop. And this one was not. So there's a couple ways I make it. You gotta take your meats. I like using 2 different types of meats. I like using like ground beef and like hot Italian sausage at the same time.
Of course.
So
did go you do ahead. That this time?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
So you go ahead, saute onions and garlic and some olive oil, and then take your meats and go ahead and put your meats in there and just, get it all together and delicious. And you want to go ahead, just put a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. The sausage is kind of salty, so just be a little careful with it. And then I get 1 can of just the 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and I pour that in there. And then I take a small can of just tomato sauce, pour that in there, and about 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. And I go ahead and I put it in there too. And then you season the fuck out of it. So you need your basil, your oregano. I do like to put. When we
come out with our own seasoning blend, we should call it like the seasoning.
Season the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I agree. Hashtag FoodFAQ. No, hashtag trademark FoodFAQ.
TM.
I called it. So season the fuck out of it. And I like to get some grated pecorino romano and throw it in there also. The real stuff, not that shit that comes in the craft green jar, like the actual stuff.
I'm not opposed to. We've discussed this before.
I am 100% opposed to it. But I'll get into that in a second because I have an idea of why you're not opposed to it. Okay. So anyways, I think you can actually put a splash of red wine in there if you want. I didn't have any, so it's not a big deal. I'm actually not a red wine drinker. I'm a white wine drinker, so it's not a big deal. And then you let that kind of simmer away. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. You let that kind of simmer away for a little bit, and then I made the bechamel sauce.
Okay. So that's your red sauce. For me, I got my trusty 3-cheese jar pasta sauce from Good and Gather, which they sell at Target, and it's my favorite. And I doctor that up with the powders, the mainstays. I like to use thyme because I have it right now. Onion, garlic, put that puppy in there, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, pepper. And that's how I made my sauce. So because I really made it in a crunch, I had to make dinner like fast. And, making a lasagna fast, it doesn't work. So I did that. And you can take that shortcut and it still is delicious. But I really recommend that brand. So good.
They should pay you for this.
They really should, because I'm always talking about that shit. The Good and Gather, and their organic ground beef is the only ground beef I really ever buy. It's good. I know you make fun of me for this because you're an asshole.
Because you wanted me to spend one day like $8.99 on like a half a pound of like fucking organic ground beef. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. We're making meatballs. I'm not doing this. Like,
it's so
you want
good.
me to spend money on like a good steak, or we go out to like an expensive restaurant. That's fine. But like, we're there at like, Harris Teeter, and you're just like, oh, let's get this one. I'm like, no.
It's the good one.
What is with you?
I like good shit.
Like, I can make like 4 meatballs out of this tiny little package. So one for everybody.
Anyway, Eric. So we made the bechamel, right? So this is what you do for this sauce. Oh, and we got the no-cook lasagna. So we already have... Man, those are so freaking good. Aren't they pretty?
Yeah, they are really nice. I like it. Okay, we talked about it. The reason why I like the Trader Joe's noodles is because I don't like the little wavy
curly edges. Me neither.
I don't know why they're there.
They burn. That's all they fucking do is burn.
They burn. They cook at a different temperature than your other noodles are going to cook. The flat
inside part. Yes.
And I don't know why.
No.
We have those.
America.
Anyways, go on with your bechamel.
So bechamel is pretty standard, even though I gave Eric a recipe that he couldn't follow for this fucking life because, he's a man.
Humidity differences.
Oh my God. Fucking humidity, people. Look,
the humidity difference between where we live. So maybe I didn't need as much fucking milk as you put in your thing. And I added a little bit more nutmeg. But you actually didn't even give me a measurement of nutmeg. You're like, put nutmeg.
Fat. No, I said a fat pinch because this is my thing, right? So, okay, we're going to go into bechamel on Saturday because we're going to have a new thing, Keeter.
Can I say it?
You can.
Oh my God. So I think we might be, moving our quickies over to a different idea. Yes. And we are going to have saucy Saturdays. Woo! I love saucy Saturdays, which we're going to take cool little ideas, like for example, bechamel. Mm-hmm. And we are going to get a little bit more in depth with how to make certain things and what to use it for and how to avoid mistakes and what happens if a mistake comes around. What do we do with it? So
we're gonna really make something like in depth. We went from quickie to going in deep.
Yeah, like like earlier, like we talked about, you have to size it up and figure out like, am I going to go in deep with this one?
Yeah, and Saturdays are like such a good. You guys love us on Saturdays, so we figured why not give you some like new delicious content for Saturdays.
And I think Saturdays are good because I think Saturdays we can really focus on, like you talked about earlier, Mariela, like fun project meals,
like this one,
where we have time. Like today is a Saturday night that we're recording, and I made a lasagna.
Not lasagna,
because I'm not going to make it on a Tuesday.
No, I mean you would have to assemble
everything. I have to prep everything the night before and then bake it off on that Tuesday.
So that's a pain in the ass, and plus you got to bake it for a whole hour.
Right. Let's get to the bechamels.
So bechamel is pretty standard. We're going to go really far into the sucker on the weekend, but you melt butter, you add flour, you cook it until it gets a little bit of color, and then you start adding milk to it. I use my milk cold. Some people say you have to warm it before you put it in. I don't find that to be true.
I use it cold also.
Right?
I don't warm it up. Yeah.
You just trickle it in. You got your whisk in your right hand. You got your milk on the left hand, and you just start like moving that shit around until it becomes homogeneous, and then you start adding all the liquid into it. And then you wait for it to start kind of simmering and bubbling, It becomes like a little cauldron. And you see, like, when you start running your whisk through it, you start leaving a little bit of track. That's when you know you can take it off heat.
Yep.
Then you add your cheeses. I like to add a fuck ton of nutmeg. I think nutmeg is a secret ingredient in bechamel, and particularly in this lasagna, because I use a lot, and it's like a je ne sais quoi in the background.
Stop it. I hate it when you use that term. I don't know why.
I know.
That's why you're using it wrong. You're using it wrong, for sure.
Look it up, fart. I'm going to tell you.
Fuck. Are you fucking 12? Look it up, fart.
Yes. I'm going to look it up, because je ne sais quoi means, in French, je ne sais quoi literally means I don't know what. So it gives you that I don't know what in the background. Like, you don't know what it is, but it's delicious. See, I know how to use words. I studied French for many years. Thank you very much.
You did. No, you fully did. And I'm understanding of that. I failed it 1 year in 8th grade and never went back.
Well, thank you, sir. It does give you something in the background that you're like, can't put my finger on it, but it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, okay, this is the thing, right? When you make it, you put your cheese in and your nutmeg and you whisk it all in together and then you taste it. Because I don't believe you can add salt to this until you put this cheese in there.
No, you have to whisk it. You have to get it all together first.
And what cheese did you use today?
Unexpected cheddar from Trader Joe's.
Did you grate it or did you just like...
Yeah, I grated it. Yeah.
Me too. I've done that. That's what I did the first time, which I love. That cheese is like the holy grail for me. But today I didn't have it. I kind of just made this shit on the fly because I had some leftover noodles. So today, you know what I used there? I used I think I had maybe a half a cup of Parmesan left, like in a pack, pre-grated Parm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had mozzarella that I threw in there to, for the equivalent of what the bechamel needs. And it was fucking delicious. So you can
I put some of the Romano, the grated Romano, because I was eating my unexpected cheddar while I was cooking and then realized, wait a minute.
I need that.
I needed this. and that cheese is so fucking addictive.
Isn't it?
Like, I can just eat it by itself.
It doesn't need a friend.
No, it does not need a friend at all.
It's so good. Oh my God. That cheese. One day that should pay my kids' college freaking education. We talk about it so damn much.
Because it's so good. You can use it for fucking anything.
Yes. I've made it in a grilled cheese before. Have you done this? With a little bit of jam or something inside the...
Okay, hold on. Wait, I'm going to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you something. So the other night, Ryan and I were watching TV and it was late at night. It was like 11 o'clock. And I wanted something like a little bit of sweet and a little bit of salty. Mm-hmm. So I had Asiago cheese, which, cause I like hard cheeses. Like I like hard salty cheeses.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Asiago cheese. And so I cut it up and I took my bread and I put it in the air fryer because, by the way, Mariela got me like this fucking incredible air fryer for Christmas. And I love it. I use it every single day. Yeah. Like a really good one. It's not like the bucket one I had earlier.
No buckets.
And so, I use it for everything now. So I went ahead and I toasted some bread in there and then I put some slices. I cut the Asiago cheese, put some slices on it, put it in the air fryer so it melted a little bit. And then I thought of you because then I put raspberry preserves on top of it.
It's so good.
Fucking delicious. That was amazing.
That's how I make
I'm eating it and Ryan's like, that looks disgusting. I'm like, no, this is really good.
It is delicious. And wait till you put sausage on it. You're going to be coming in your pants.
You guys are getting 2 recipes right now.
I know. Really?
Okay, this is our makeup for missing last week.
Oh, you know what else I do? I'll make a grilled cheese in my waffle iron because it makes it like the crispiest.
Right.
And I put the jelly in there too. And then I say, oh man.
Well, yeah, because was like, it's not like a grilled cheese, but it was like, like a cheese toast.
Like your mom's cheese toast.
My mom's like cuisine of the 80s and 90s. I thought she was a genius.
Cheese toast.
So yeah, so just let you know, I thought about you. If it wasn't that it was like 11:30 at night, I did text you at 2 a.m. though with a beverage.
Last night.
I did. But if it wasn't that it was that late and you might have been asleep or I would have woken the kids up if I called, it was like incredible. So just let everybody know, like a good salty cheese, toast, and like a raspberry preserve. Mm-hmm. I like preserves over jellies. So
yeah,
there's a difference.
There is. I know you're very adamant about it and yeah. I'm okay with that. I accept.
So, oh my God, it's so good. Take back from making fun of you. So I'm taking back half of this.
You'll try the sausage. You know what I'm going to make tomorrow? Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. I'm going to make English muffins tomorrow. Set in stone. Doing it.
Oh, like you're going to create the English muffin.
Yeah, I'm going to bake those motherfuckers. I'm going to make them. I'm going to make the dough. It doesn't take that long. And I can't tell you how excited I am right now that I'm going to be making English muffins in roughly like 10 hours. You have no idea.
I'm excited for you.
I'm going to take all the pictures. I made popovers the other day. I made a loaf of bread the other day. I made a whole fucking cake. I'm like in right now. Like I want to make.
I made a loaf of bread yesterday. I didn't make it like you. I got a bread maker.
I know, but you inspired me.
Your bread looked really good though.
I haven't made bread in forever. So yeah, but homemade bread is intoxicating. Like the kids are just flocking around the fucking bread, like waiting for it to cool because it just smells so good.
It's so good.
Anyway, so lasagna. Okay, we got the noodles, the no-bake noodles from Trader Joe's. Recommend. Yep. And then you layer it, right? I always put sauce on the bottom of the pan because I think it, keeps it from sticking. And I put both sauces in the bottom of the pan. Then you put noodle, then you put the meat sauce, and then you put the bechamel. Boom, 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 boom. I like to end it with just bechamel because it looks so like white and pristine and pretty. What did you do?
So I also put a little bit of grated mozzarella in between my layers as well. Like I bought mozzarella and I grated it because I don't buy grated cheese anymore. We can get into that in a whole nother day. Mm-hmm. And so, so I did do that. Just add a little cheesiness to it. On the top, I did have leftover meat sauce. And so I did put some meat sauce on top with the bechamel.
You're like, I can't live without that cheese.
Well, I had grated it already. And like, what am I going to do with it at this point? You know?
Make a grilled cheese.
I don't got time.
Yeah, and then you bake it at 350 covered for 45 minutes. And then you take off the little top and you bake it for another 15 without it. That's what I do. What do you do?
I just put the top on, bake it for 45 minutes. We had to record, so I didn't have time to take it off and get it crispy on top. But I do that normally. I do take the foil off and then bake it for a little bit longer so it just gets kind of crispy on the top.
Oh my gosh. And that's it, you guys. And I promise, like, you don't miss the ricotta because I was nervous about it because I really enjoy the ricotta. And this is infinitely better than ricotta because the texture is more silky and not grainy. Fuck. I've been eating lasagna wrong all my life.
That's exciting.
All my life. I don't think I've ever had lasagna like this before. Even at like a restaurant, they always make it with the ricotta.
It's a whole new world, Mariela.
It's delicious. And I encourage Eric to go right now and take a forkful and come back.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to get a forkful.
Go.
And I'm going to come right back.
The results are in.
Yeah, that's like the best shit ever.
Isn't it fucking amazing?
Okay, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
Okay, so I add a little red pepper to my thing, to my sauce, so it's like spicy. But I have a little taste of nutmeg in there too.
So good.
And it's not watery. It's all creamy.
Right.
There's a creaminess to it that you don't get from the ricotta.
At all. Ricotta just gets like rigor mortis.
Weird. Okay.
It just gets stiff.
You could just use the word stiff. We're cooking. Let's not use dead words.
I know. Just the word came.
You're like ricotta, little je ne sais quoi, rigor mortis.
I'm giving you both the middles, okay? Right in your face.
Your fingers are so tiny. So anyways,
Look,
that was really good.
Tell me it's not the best lasagna you've ever stuck in your mouth.
Yeah, that was really good. Oh, and the nutmeg adds a warmth to it. Yeah.
See how it's the je ne sais
quoi?
quoi?
Warmth to this. Oof.
It's in the background. It's playing, and it's fucking amazing. Like it takes.
Oof. Still taste it.
Aren't you wet? I know.
Yeah. Wet.
You got rigor mortis yourself.
Well, again, you have to size up the rigor mortis, Mariela, and you have to determine.
Oh my god,
is lasagna worth it? That's good. That is really good.
Is he lasagna worth it? I like that.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna measure things now. Is lasagna worth it? That's really good. I took like a good hearty bite. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are endorsing lasagna for 2024 without ricotta.
Yeah, with bechamel.
This may be controversial.
It's also easier to make. I don't know, because it's like one less step, kind of.
It's really not, actually, because ricotta, you just got to put an egg in that shit. But it's not as hard as you think.
Step. You just like you pour the bechamel over. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I agree that it does not make it more complicated, even though you're making another thing. There's something about it. There's just something about this that we cannot like possibly convey to you until you shove it in your mouth.
Yeah, you got to try it.
You have to try this bechamel lasagna. This is the way they make lasagna in Italy, too, by the way. I saw this whole thing. I don't even remember where the fuck this idea came to me, but there's a whole debate about this. Ricotta and lasagna. It doesn't really belong. It's just an American thing.
Oh, that's so good.
I digress. Okay, you guys. We love you. We are here and we're back and we're coming in strong. And we have so many awesome things planned for January.
Yes.
We can't wait to share them. Don't forget, we're not coming on Tuesdays anymore. Tuesdays are not for coming anymore. Now there's Tuesdays. Saturdays.
Right. Saturday is a day for coming.
It's a much more relaxed day for coming. And we're going to be there on Saturdays, giving it to you right, like deep.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because after we come to you on Saturdays, you can relax in bed like you're supposed to. Make your
lasagna. Oh, okay, you guys. We'll see you very, very soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.